Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Welcome to Good Movies and Music. My name's AJ, and today we're here with another movie reaction. We're going to be watching Drive, which stars Ryan Gosling and was directed by Nicolas Winding Refn. And believe it or not, this movie is already 10 years old. It feels like it just came out, and I've just been making excuses about why I haven't gotten to it. Given what I do know about this film, I'm kind of surprised that I haven't actually watched it yet, because it seems to check off a lot of boxes that I like in film. Sort of that dark, moody, atmospheric indie film, neon lit at night, that whole aesthetic, that whole vibe. That's very much in my wheelhouse. I think maybe part of the reason why I didn't rush out to watch this film at the time was because I really just didn't know much about Ryan Gosling at the time. He just really wasn't on my radar. I've since corrected that mistake because he was hilarious and, dare I say, underrated in The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe. And he was just amazing, yet totally unrecognizable in The Big Short. But the film that really put Ryan Gosling on my radar was La La Land. It's funny, the story of that movie for me anyway. I remember my wife and I, she was my girlfriend at the time, we just wanted to go see a movie. It was around the holidays, and we were just like, let's go see just a feel-good, holiday season appropriate type of movie. And we'd seen the trailer for La La Land, and we're like, well, it's a bright, shiny musical. It's something just light and easy to watch. Let's go see that. And we both had just kind of low expectations for it. We sat down, front row, as we like to do. And that first musical number started, Another Day of Sun. And I think midway through that musical number, my wife and I, we just kind of both turned to each other just like, we're like, I was not ready for that. Like, we were both just like blown away by how stunning and amazing that musical number was. And then just from then on, that movie was just a tour de force of a movie. And also tonally just not what we were expecting. We thought it was going to be just like a lighthearted, silly rom-com, but it ended up being really poignant and really sort of deep emotionally. The way it presented relationships and the way a relationship can sort of fall apart, not in some spectacular, dramatic way, but just through sort of neglect and, drifting apart in terms of long-term goals and interests, just the way that sort of sometimes a relationship just meets its natural end, and something about that I feel like that doesn't get portrayed a whole lot in movies. It doesn't seem like it would make good fodder for drama. We think of drama as, big blow-ups in terms of relationships, but yeah, sometimes it can be just as sad, if not sadder, just to see two people drift and realize there's nothing they can do about that. And the fact that they still love each other at the end of that relationship, but they realize like their lives are going in two very different directions. Yeah, it was just, oh man, such a heartbreaking movie. Yeah, that ending left me shook, as the kids say. But anyway, yeah, as far as Drive, I don't think there's a whole lot more I want to say about this film, just because, really, like I said, there's not a whole lot I know about it other than Ryan Gosling. I do know that at the time the film came out, two things became very popular as a result, which was that jacket that I think it has like a scorpion on the back. Is that right? I remember people were selling replicas of it. And then I remember the soundtrack was really popular. I don't remember any of the actual music from it. I do vaguely remember it being very like synthy and sort of like 80s throwback almost. I think the rest of this movie is going to be a surprise. I don't even think I really know anybody else who's in it beyond Ryan Gosling. So yeah, let's just keep all this a surprise. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Without any further ado, this is going to be my reaction to Drive, directed by Nicolas Winding Refn. Let's go.
There's 100,000 streets in this city. I give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours.
There's that jacket.
Anything happens a minute either side of that and you're on your own.
One thing I really like is when narration is diegetic, which, when this scene first opened up, I thought it was him narrating, there's, this many streets in Los Angeles. I thought he was just being a narrator, but it's just him on the phone talking to somebody. So it's like totally in universe, it's just him talking to somebody on the phone. Just clever little ways like that to give the viewer information.
She's down there.
Is that Bryan Cranston?
Boring, just like you asked for.
This would have been at the height of Breaking Bad, no?
Chevy Impala, most popular car in the state of California. No one will be looking at...
Probably a Prius by now, isn't it? Imagine doing a getaway driving scene in a Prius. Has that been done yet? So I'm guessing he's a getaway driver. Someone who's into racing and you know, car culture, explain the leather glove thing to me, because I feel like I've seen that before.
Really making a strong run here with just 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I'd be so distracted trying to listen to a radio broadcast of a game and monitoring the police scanner at the same time. Opens the door for him. What a gentleman. That is a nice little tension builder, though, that we're actually listening to the cops. It's another example of sort of a narration or exposition being delivered entirely practically.
Come on, get in.
Nice.
Just 4 minutes here on the clock in this major break game for the Clippers.
Santa Fe at 7, clear.
The tension is thick. Just gonna follow right behind the cop. That's a strategy.
5 to dispatch. Heading eastbound on 6. Copy that, Unit 5.
That's actually kind of smart.
Visual heading west on 7th Street Bridge.
There we go. No timeouts remaining.
Griffin gets the rebound. Time winding down. 4, 3, 2, 1. The Los Angeles Clippers win the ball game.
This is why he was listening to the game, because he knew that was going to be the perfect hiding spot. Pretty brilliant. I can see why the soundtrack was popular. Yes or no? Drive soundtrack album reaction.
They're talking about you, boy.
What floor?
Fourth, thanks.
Carrie Mulligan. She was recently great in Promising Young Woman.
Ready to go? All right. Counting on you.
Ability to the company in case you die, get maimed, or seriously injured?
And action!
You all right? You're good. That was perfect.
Ryan Gosling is playing this so peculiar. Like, I don't know, like robotic's not quite the right word for it, but it's just like he's moving at half speed.
Where should I put this?
In the kitchen.
Scary. Hey, you want a toothpick?
What about
When and how did the toothpick become synonymous with the cool guy? That makes me so cool. I gotta get all this stuff out from between my teeth.
What do you do?
I drive. I like for movies.
Oh, you mean all the car chases and stuff?
It's only part-time. Mostly I work at a garage.
Mr. Rose, I wouldn't come to you with this unless I was absolutely sure about it.
What do you got that the big professional race teams don't?
I got the driver. I had the money, I'd back him myself.
Yeah, but you don't have the money. Nice to meet you.
My hands are a little dirty.
So am I.
Love the double meaning of
I'm
that.
driving out there.
Their hands are a little dirty, aren't they?
Ah, you two know each other.
Don't.
Oh, look at that.
We're neighbors.
Neighbors. Very good. Well, we'll try to be neighborly too.
We're gonna have to keep the car here for a few days.
So I offered your services to take Benicio and Irene home.
I don't have wheels in my car.
Okay.
That's one thing you should know about me.
We'll put the tires on.
Sorry if I put you on the spot showing up like that.
I don't get the sense that this movie was improvised, but the way they're playing so many of these dialogue scenes just feels like the characters, or feels like the actors are searching for what to say next, almost, you know? It's such an interesting vibe. You know, because I think La La Land is one of the all-time great on-screen romances, I get just a little bit jealous every time Ryan Gosling is getting romantic with somebody who's not Emma Stone.
Did Shannon ever tell you how we met? He got involved with some of Nino's friends. They didn't go for the overcharging bit. They broke his pelvis.
Oh, that's how it
He's
happened.
never had a lot of luck. We're a team now.
That's just some nice framing, having the fluorescent lights in both directions pointing right to the guy. Just those leading lines.
We're here celebrating, but it's a shameful thing. What I did, I have a lot of making up to do to everyone. This guy's been telling me a lot about you. You drive for the movies? Yeah. Don't be scared. Okay?
Oh shit. What happened to him?
Who were they? The fuck are you gonna go beat them up for me? There's some guys that want me to do a job for them, and I'm not gonna do it. Cause I owe them some protection money from when I was inside. They said they're gonna come after Benicio and Irene next.
This movie's sponsored by Denny's. It's too bad this movie's set in LA and not in Moons Over Miami.
You tell me where we start, where we're going. Anything happens in that 5 minutes, and I'm yours, no matter what. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
You look like you're hard to work with.
When you get your money, his debt's paid. He's out for good. You never go near his family again. See you in 4.
Another really good recent LA noir heist robbery type of film that I highly recommend is Destroyer, starring Nicole Kidman and I believe directed by Karen Kusama. Yeah, that movie went under the radar, but it's phenomenal. It's really good, just LA noir heist film. Sebastian Stan was in that too, really good in that. Wish more people would have seen it when that was out in theaters. Something's gonna happen. I don't like that car back there. Damn. Yep.
You just got a little boy's father killed. You almost got us killed. You're gonna take me to him right now. Do you understand?
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh! Wow. I did not expect this movie to go that gory. I'm speechless. Wow.
Can't stop thinking about what we can do with all that dough.
Just,
All right.
That was a pretty cool reveal with that slow crossfade like that.
Where's Cook?
He's in the dressing room.
Where's that?
Oh, shit! The bullet!
Whose money do I have?
Don't worry, they're gonna come get it. You got something that belongs to me.
Seems that way.
You expect me to buy my own shit back from you?
I'm not selling it. I'm gonna give you a time and a place, and you're gonna come and get it.
Yep. I love this little subtle change in lighting. I guess it's not that subtle. The old kiss for cover. Like, imagine he's doing this to buy time and buy cover. But imagine you just get shot at this moment. What if just every time you kissed, the lights around you dimmed? It's like the electricity in the room is being sucked into that moment. Now I'm wondering what Ryan Gosling as Bruce Banner would have been like in the Avengers. Because he's really good at playing seething, boiling rage beneath the surface.
Calm down. You told him about it. I'm in. Calm down, kid. Just calm down.
That's why this driver's gotta go, Bernie.
Oh man, I've seen jalapeno poppers and mozzarella sticks on that menu. I'm getting hungry. Oh!
Now it's your turn to clean up after me.
Check, please. Bro, you're still wearing that jacket full of blood? Ryan Gosling's character in this, though, feels like the type of guy who would own multiples of that jacket. Like, he'd own 5 of those. Just because he knows that that's going to happen every now and then. Oh, cool, they got a prosthetic Joe Rogan.
Don't worry.
So creepy. Woo!
You, me, and your girlfriend are the only players left.
Getting to be around you and Benicio was the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's a lonely thing to say. Still wearing that bloody jacket. Ooh. I'm emotionally exhausted from watching that film. That's a compliment, not a complaint. You know, there's that concept in music of dynamics where, you know, your song isn't always at just one volume or at one tempo. You know, you have quiet moments and loud moments and soft moments and, you know, forceful moments, you know, kind of almost a roller coaster ride in terms of the sonic landscape you're painting. And I feel like in film you can do the same thing. And I feel like this was a very dynamic movie in that sense because there were such moments of calm and quiet and peace. And then there were moments that were not just loud and vicious and violent, but so violent, like so over the top, just gory. Like when Albert Brooks just repeatedly stabs that guy in the neck with that butcher knife. You know, a lot of other movies would have had that same scene, but not shot it quite that, you know, graphically, that just in your face, like overhead camera on the guy and you're just seeing the knife go in, you know, and he just does it multiple times, you know. Like I feel like most movies, like a more mainstream movie, you know, Albert Brooks' character would have probably just snuck up from behind and slit the guy's throat and that would have been it, you know, or stabbed him once in the chest maybe, you know, but just to repeatedly just jab the guy in the neck and you see most of it. That is a bold decision that not a lot of movies would have made. And it was kind of more out of just a straight up horror film, you know. That's you expect that kind of level of gore in a lot of, you know, really hard R horror films, but you don't expect it necessarily in this type of film, you know, just an indie thriller action film, you know, something that was this artful and this stylized, you know, and about a certain aesthetic, you know. I definitely had expectations of like what their limits would be, just based on my preconceived notions of like, you know, it's Ryan Gosling, it's this really stylized indie film, you know, and despite being sort of a thriller and action film, it was so stylized that I felt like I knew where the limits would be in terms of what they would and wouldn't do and what they would and wouldn't show. But man, they just blew past those limits and just totally caught me off guard. So yeah, just, you know, just super dynamic in that way. So like I said, I'm emotionally I feel like I've been put through the ringer just because of the just wild ups and downs of this movie. Which is funny because the character himself, you know, the driver, he's just such an even keel person. At least you start out thinking that way, and then you realize, oh, he's really not even keel at all. He's just this burning ball of anger. You know, saying in the movie, I wonder what Ryan Gosling would have been like playing Bruce Banner in an Avengers movie, because he has that I'm always angry sort of energy. But they did such a good job at the beginning of it, because he does have just an innate charm and warmth that does a good job of masking where the character is going to go. I just thought the character work was just really strong in this film, and sort of the way they reveal things about the characters. You know, they did a good job with Bryan Cranston's character, where they reveal at a certain point that the reason he has that limp is because he, you know, just not good at this crime thing, and some mob guys, you know, broke his pelvis. Is that what they said? Just because he's just kind of this, you know, just bumbling guy who's just not good at crime. And so they put that seed in your mind. So sure enough, he ends up totally botching this sequence of events as well, which leads to him getting killed and the whole thing spiraling even further out of control. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. That was, like I said, I had certain expectations of what I thought this movie would be, and it just blew past those expectations. It was a wild ride. And oddly enough, the driving stuff wasn't even really the most exciting. That was almost kind of the most, and I think this is because this character is such, you know, a professional world-class driver, that there's just not going to be a sense of suspense or tension when he's driving, because you know that he's just that good, that he has it under control. It's the stuff away from the driving where there's the real tension and the real suspense, is because as masterful as he is as a driver, he's not that good with people. You know, he's not a conversationalist. Doesn't seem to do well with, you know, having to improvise or, you know, talk his way through a situation. So when you put him in these situations that aren't playing to his strengths, that aren't playing to his comfort level, is when he has his back against the wall and has to make these really erratic decisions. Like just that whole hammer thing, just walking right into the strip club and just hammering that guy's hand like that in front of everybody. I mean, I'm kind of surprised to the extent to which this character sort of brute forces his way through life. But like I said, it's because, you know, he's not going to be tactical necessarily. He's not going to be strategic, because that's not his deal. His deal's drive fast, you know, drive skillfully. But he's not, you know, once he's on the ground, once he's on his 2 feet walking around, it's just like, you know, just all he has is just, okay, I'm just going to brute force my way through this and hope for the best. So yeah, that's where the real tension and the real suspense was. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this movie. Like, what was your first time watching this movie, and those shocking moments? You know, did that just totally catch you off guard the way it did me? Yeah, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to subscribe for more movie reactions, definitely do that. And just remember to ring that bell for notifications. That lets you know when I upload a new video. Signing out for today, this has been Good Movies and Music. My name's AJ. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.